Hello, this is MrChabry. Since it is Halloween, I decided to dress up, and I honestly can't find the skull costume I had last year. So I'm going to be a Union soldier for Halloween. Yankee Doodle went to town. Anyway, let's get our ghost team one more chance to shine. And honestly, if there is a chance to shine, it would probably be against this team. This is a pretty scary team. I think I want to lead Dusk Noir because I've got the Shadow Sneak. I can do some things with that. Maybe? I don't know. This is pretty scary. My opponent's got a few Pokemon that are pretty scary, honestly. And I need chip damage on the Mimikyu before I can do anything. I've got to watch out for the Gorilla. The Icy Gorilla. That thing would just steamroll me if I'm not careful. They really wanted a good ice type, so then they created that Icy Darmanitan. That is just a beast. They're like, you know, ice type's terrible. We need to go over the top for it. We've got Heat Rotom here. Okay. Dusk Noir. This Dusk Noir is a bulkier set. I want to see choice specs, meaning that's an offensive set. If I had to guess, 100% we're going to see Volt Switch. And my opponent could go into Corviknight, but I think going Toxic here would be best. Oh, you're going to go Shadow Ball, and that might actually one-shot us, unfortunately. No. Nice. I don't have a switch into Shadow Ball, unfortunately. That's kind of the thing with using a pure ghost type, is that if there's a type that you're weak to, you can't really switch into it. But I should be able to live one more Shadow Ball, seeing how much damage that did. So I'm going to go for Pain Split here. We're going to share our pain. I'm going to have you sit down there, Rotom. I'm going to tell you about my hard existence. I've been eating rotten potatoes. You know, stuff like that. That's pretty much been my life, Mr. Rotom. Shadow Sneak right here. Chip damage, really. Probably bring it down enough, maybe? No, doesn't look like it. But yeah, kind of just trading off our leads, it seems like. Which, I mean, this thing with Shadow Ball, getting rid of it is actually a pretty good thing for me. Alright, it's going to live. So, of course I need a faster Pokemon. I mean, Gengar is fast. I like the Gengar. I think I go Gengar. Finish this thing off. I do need to watch out for Mimikyu. Mimikyu's honestly going to be a problem for me as well. We Shadow Ball. We just Shadow Ball here. Toss the microwave out. Alright, so basically we traded our leads. I mean, Rotom Heat's a better Pokemon than Dusk Noir. So, I mean, I'd like to say that we had the better trade-off. But, you know, with a pure Ghost team, you're going to have some struggles with that. Mimikyu. Hey, buddy. I've got something for you. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to Will-O-Wisp. Okay. Does that sound good, little Mimikyu? Little Mimikyu. Does that sound good? Yeah, me here with my Union soldier hat for Halloween. All right, we get the Rocky Helmet damage, which is good. We see the Life Orb, which is also good information to know. We get a Wisp here. Oof. Swords Dance, not good. We need this Wisp to connect. I need it to connect. Thank you. Now lower that thing's attack. And we can actually hit it just for some chip damage to break the disguise. Do you have a poison type to get rid of my thing? You do have a possible defogger. So I'm just going to click Hex here. For chip. To break the disguise for the chip. All good stuff. And that's going to help us out. I really want to get those toxic spikes up and going. It's really what I want to do. I'm going to try to see if I can get those going here. Because if I can get toxic spikes, it's going to be good. I don't think I survived those. But that chip right there does help. And it's going to go down to the burn, so... Well, it's not even going to require the burn, its own life orb. So far we've been trading Pokemon. We do have Fire Blast on this beast. This is a beast. I need Gengar for my opponent's Dragapult. Yes, I do. Yeah, it's going to be rough for me because, you know, we've so far seen... Oh. Showing each other our Dragapults, I see. Well. What do I do here? Do I try? I mean, honestly, I do need Dragapult. A huge Pokemon that I do need to have on my team. Could Aegislash take one hit on switching? Honestly, if there is, it's the only one. I'm not willing to risk my own Dragapult here. I'm not willing to risk it because I know mine is choice specs. If his is scarfed, there's no way I'm outspeeding. My opponent could have easily clicked a ghost type move there and would have probably wrecked my day. Probably wrecked my whole entire day with a ghost type move there. Shadow Sneak would be so good, but I understand that if I go Shadow Sneak, I'm likely not going to... Oh, you're going to vanish. Of course you're going to vanish. Honestly, I should have Shadow Sneak now. Did not think my opponent was going to go for that. There's no way to protect against that move, but if I go for King's Shield, at least I'll be in defense mode. And then next turn, I'll know to go Shadow Sneak instead. I'll know to go Shadow Sneak. Yeah, so we will live that. And I do need to go Shadow Sneak here. If anything for the chip, that would make sure Gengar has an opportunity. Yeah, that should be good damage for us. That should be enough damage. Yeah, so there's no way I'm going to protect myself from that. As we see, that does enough to finish me off. So I'm going to click Shadow Ball. We're going down anyway. And like I said, Gengar is pretty much our go-to for this thing. We really do need Gengar here for that Shadow Ball. Alright, Gengar, show us your moves. Especially this Shadow Ball here. That's going to wreck this thing's day. Nice. Honestly don't know what item that thing had. What do we see as a switch in now? Good question. Pokeflash.co, which was this thing. We are faster, so we can take that to our advantage. Do I need Gengar for anything else? Honestly, Gengar could possibly be good for the Rillaboom? Huh. But I can't just switch because this thing is a beast. This Dracovish that we're staring at with its blank eyes, it's a monster. If you're not careful, it's going to destroy you. Any switch that you try to do, it's pretty much over for you. Okay, so I gotta go with my my boy here. We are specs, so we will be able to do whatever we need to. What do I lock myself into? Shadow Ball, because Corviknight still exists, and I need Chip on that thing. You realize I need Chip on. I probably do need Chip on the last two Pokemon to have a chance. I need Darmanitan to have some sort of damage on it, and I really need damage on that Corviknight. So. I'm honestly hoping my opponent goes Corviknight here, because then I can go into. Well, I would have been able to go into my own Marowak and probably done something. But there's no switching out for this thing. This thing is a monster. If I switch, I get destroyed. It's faster than me. Oof. It missed the Blizzard. That just gave us a chance. I'm going Marowak. That gives us a chance to get chip damage onto Corviknight, which I really desperately need. That miss is huge. And likely this thing is locked. It is locked because it's got that ability, Guerrilla Tactics, where it can't change moves. Because if it didn't have that, it would have turned into a snowman right there. But we didn't see the snowman. We knew it was locked in. We could have went into Marowak, finished it off, went into a fire type move, finished it off, hit Corviknight with a fire type move for chip, and then our Dragapult could have came in for the win. Anyway, if you like this, our Ghost team finally got something to show for all of its efforts. And luckily on Halloween. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in the next Pokemon video.